What do you do when someone you love is drowning, and you don't know how to pull him out? Drug addiction and substance abuse are tearing families apart, but your support could be the one thing that saves a life. In this video, you'll learn what actually helps. Real tools, real hope, and the truth most people are too afraid to say. Because silence kills, but support heals. Let's talk about how to help without losing yourself, and why the right words at the right time can change everything. Let's begin by clearing up one of the most harmful myths about addiction. Addiction is not a moral weakness. It's not a lack of willpower. It's not bad behavior. Addiction is a chronic brain disease, recognized by every major medical association, including the American Medical Association and the World Health Organization. Here's what actually happens when someone uses a substance, whether it's alcohol, opioids, stimulants, or prescription medications. It doesn't just make them feel good. It rewires their brain. Over time, the brain's reward system, powered by a chemical called dopamine, gets hijacked. The brain starts to associate that substance with survival itself. It says, "You need this. More than sleep, more than food, more than your family." This is why people continue to use, even when it costs them everything. Their job, their health, their relationships. It's not because they don't care. It's because their brain has been altered to prioritize the drug over everything else. And the longer the use, the deeper the changes. Addiction doesn't just affect cravings. It disrupts thinking, decision-making, and emotional regulation. That's why someone you love may lie, lash out, or disappear. But underneath the chaos, there's still a human being. One who's hurting, one who needs help, not punishment. So the next time you're tempted to ask, why can't they just stop? Remember this: addiction is not a choice, but recovery can be, and your understanding could be the first step in their healing. Addiction might feel like something that happens to other people, but the truth is, it's happening everywhere, right now, all around us. 1 in 10 Americans will struggle with substance abuse at some point in their lives. That means in nearly every classroom, every workplace, every family. Someone is silently fighting a battle they feel they can't win. And yet, less than 25%, just 1 in 4, will ever get help. Why? Because of shame, because of stigma, because too many people still believe addiction is a bad choice, instead of what it truly is, a medical emergency. Every year, over 100,000 people in the US alone lose their lives to drug overdose. That's a stadium full of sons, daughters, parents, co-workers, gone. Most of them never got the chance to recover. Most of them didn't get a second chance. This isn't someone else's problem. Addiction is everywhere. It crosses race, class, income, and religion. It's in our neighborhoods. It's in our friend groups. It's in our families. And the more we talk about it, the more we understand it, the more lives we can save. Because addiction doesn't have to end in tragedy. It can end in recovery. And it starts with people who care enough to learn, just like you. Let's talk about one of the most misunderstood, but most life-saving tools in the fight against addiction: medication-assisted treatment, also known as MAT. For many people, when they hear the words medication for addiction, they imagine a crutch, or worse, trading one drug for another. But that's simply not true. These medications don't get people high. They get people stable. Take methadone, for example. It's a long-acting opioid that helps reduce cravings and withdrawal symptoms, without producing a euphoric high. For decades, It's been used safely to help people rebuild their lives and function normally. Or buprenorphine, also known by the brand name Suboxone. It's a partial opioid agonist, meaning it binds to opioid receptors in the brain, but in a gentler, more controlled way. It reduces cravings and withdrawal, while lowering the risk of overdose. For alcohol addiction, there are effective, FDA-approved medications too. Naltrexone blocks the feel-good effects of alcohol and opioids, so drinking or using brings no reward. Acamprosate helps restore the brain's chemical balance after quitting, and disulfiram creates intense physical reactions if alcohol is consumed, making it a strong deterrent. These aren't miracle cures, but they are science-backed tools, proven to reduce relapse, lower overdose risk, and increase the chances of long-term recovery. It's time we stop asking, why are they still on medication? And start asking, are they alive? Are they healing? Are they getting better? Because in this fight, survival is the first victory. Let's break the stigma. Let's embrace the tools that work. And let's give our loved ones the best possible chance at recovery. Because medication doesn't replace recovery. It supports it. Words can wound, or they can heal. And when you're speaking to someone struggling with addiction, your words might be the one thing they carry with them through the hardest days. Let's start with what actually helps. Saying, "I'm here for you," is one of the most powerful things you can offer. It's simple, it's safe, and it reminds them they're not fighting alone. Saying, "You're not alone," can cut through the shame that isolates so many people in addiction. Because the truth is, they often feel unloved, unworthy, and abandoned. You don't need to fix them. You just need to stand beside them. And most importantly, listen without judgment. Don't interrupt. Don't offer unsolicited advice. Just listen. Sometimes, being heard is the most healing thing in the world. Now, let's talk about what not to say. Because even with good intentions, the wrong words can push someone further away. Why can't you just stop? This question may seem logical, but to someone in the grip of addiction, it feels like blame. It ignores the reality that addiction rewires the brain. It's not about willpower. You're ruining everything. This one cuts deep. They probably already feel like a burden, like a failure. Saying this doesn't motivate. It shatters. And whatever you do, avoid shaming, threatening, or comparing them to others. Phrases like, "Your brother never did this," or, "If you loved me, you'd stop," only add to the guilt and isolation. Your words can be a lifeline, or a wall. Choose the ones that build trust. Choose the ones that say, "I still see you. I still care. And I haven't given up on you." It's not about having the perfect response. It's about showing up. With empathy, consistency, and love. That's emotional support. And it matters more than you know. Here's one of the hardest truths for anyone who loves someone struggling with addiction. You can't fix them, but that doesn't mean you're powerless. In fact, you can be their guide when they're too lost to find the path alone. Start small. Offer to look up treatment centers, detox programs, or therapy options in your area. You don't have to have all the answers. Just show them that there are answers. Open your laptop. Sit with them. Say, "Let's just explore some options together." No pressure. If they're open to it, go one step further. Pick up the phone and call a rehab center with them. Just hearing a real person explain the process can take away so much fear. And if formal treatment feels too overwhelming at first, encourage him to try peer-led support groups like Narcotics Anonymous, Alcoholics Anonymous, or Smart Recovery. These communities offer something powerful: connection, understanding, Hope from people who've walked the same road. And here's the part that matters most. Don't give up after one no. Addiction clouds judgment, denial, fear, shame. They're all part of the disease. One no today doesn't mean no forever. It just means, not yet. Even if they push you away, your consistent support plants a seed. They'll remember who stood by them. They'll remember who didn't give up. And if you're not sure where to start, there's help for you too. Call the SAMHSA National Helpline at 1-800-662-HELP. It's free, confidential, available 24/7. Or check your local rehab directory online. There may be options closer, and more affordable, than you think. You may not be their doctor or therapist, but you can be their advocate, their anchor, their first glimpse of hope when the world feels hopeless. You can't fix them, but you can help lead them back to themselves. When someone you love is struggling with addiction, it can feel like your entire world starts revolving around their pain. The sleepless nights, the constant worry, the heartbreak. It takes a toll, a heavy one. But here's something important that too many people forget. You matter, too. And if you burn yourself out trying to save someone else, you may lose your ability to help anyone at all. You are no good to your loved one. If you are completely drained, depressed, or consumed by fear, you can't pour from an empty cup. That's why it's not only okay, it's necessary to get support for yourself. Join a community like Al-Anon or Nar-Anon, groups specifically for families and friends of people struggling with addiction. You'll be surrounded by people who get it, who've lived it, and who can help you feel less alone. And remember, therapy isn't just for them. It's for you, too. Whether it's individual counseling, family therapy, or group sessions, talking to a trained professional can help you process your pain, manage your anxiety, and rebuild your emotional strength. And yes, you'll need to set healthy boundaries. That might mean saying no sometimes. It might mean refusing to enable destructive behavior, even when your heart is breaking. Boundaries are not walls. They are bridges, designed to protect both you and the person you love. Because love without limits can lead to burnout, but love with clarity and care, that's sustainable. Taking care of yourself isn't selfish, it's survival. And the stronger you are, the more hope, strength, and stability you can offer to the person you're trying so hard to help. So breathe, rest, get support, because your healing matters, too. If you take one thing away from this video, let it be this: recovery is possible. And so is hope. The road to healing isn't straight. There will be detours. There may be setbacks, relapses, bad days, moments that feel like starting all over again. But a relapse is not the end. It's a bump in the road, not a dead end. Just like any other chronic illness, addiction often requires ongoing care and compassion. Every time you have a conversation, express love, or simply show up, you're planting a seed. Even if they don't respond right away, something inside them hears you. Addiction isolates people. It convinces them they're worthless, that no one cares, that they're beyond saving. But your love, your presence, your voice, they're the bridge back to connection, back to humanity, back to hope. And no, you don't have to fix them. You don't have to have all the answers. What they need most is someone willing to walk beside them. Through the dark, through the setbacks, through the silence. Sometimes, that's what saves a life. Not the perfect solution, but the steady presence of someone who says, "I'm not giving up on you." There's always hope. People recover every day. From heroin, from alcohol, from meth, from trauma. And the reason they do is because someone believed they could. Let that someone be you. If you've made it this far, thank you. You've taken time to learn, to care, to show up for someone who might be fighting in silence. And that already makes you a part of the solution. But don't stop here. Help us spread this message, because you never know who might need to hear it. Like this video if it helped you understand addiction and how to support a loved one. Leave a comment below. Share your story, your struggles, or just a message of hope. You never know. Your words might be the sign someone else is waiting for. Forward this video to someone who needs it. A parent, a partner, a friend who's hurting. This video could be the thing that opens a door, starts a conversation, or even saves a life. And if you want more real, honest conversations about addiction, recovery, and mental health, subscribe to this channel. We're building a safe, stigma-free space where healing begins with truth. Together, we can break the silence. Together, we can save lives. And it all starts with compassion and connection. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.